Hi there, this screencast is to tackle issues with duplicate transactions on MemberPress actually. And when I say duplicate transaction, that means like your MemberPress is duplicating your transactions and giving you like double amounts or double amounts of whatever subscriptions your users sign up for. So, and this mostly happens when you're using a site, or you're trying to set up a site with multiple memberships or multiple subscriptions, and you're trying to use like a checkbox feature on your form. So I created a form to show us how to go about this. So first of all, we were experiencing issues with the transactions doubling the payments. Let me show you quickly. Okay, something like this. I think this was one of the transaction that was doubling whatever the customer purchased. So let me open it quickly. So this was the customer orders for this particular membership, and it gets it 3 times. So I try to tackle this issue. So in cases like this, we would have to make sure your forms were set up properly, and also you try to avoid uh membership names. When I mean conflicting membership names, you would let me just show you one quickly. So you have to go to your forms. Let me show you how I set up my forms firstly. So I created this test form illustrator test, and I'll be using the checkboxes feature to sell these 5 products. So if you check the first one, you notice I tried to separate the labels from the value. So this is very important, and it's key to avoiding the duplicate transactions. So this value here should not be the same with this. It can be the same, but make sure this is what shows on your MemberPress as well. So if you go to your MemberPress and you go to membership, membership means like all the subscriptions you're trying to sell to your users. So you go here, you make sure this is what from here to here is what is carried into your Gravity Forms or into your form, because this is actually what carries the value. So if you just go ahead and just name it this without the hyphen in front, it might mess up the form. So if you go, let's go back to my forms now, and I will show you what I did with this. So I made sure this aligns with the MemberPress and the membership. So I did it for each and every one of them. You can also go through here, your MemberPress. This has a lot of memberships, but you can just I told you I'm just dealing with, so I'll just be using 5 different subscriptions, which is the First Touch one time, the Flash one time, the Mac Driver, then these 2 other. So what I did here was to go here. So I'll be getting the value for this first one. So make sure it aligns with MemberPress. You can just take out the name. Especially this happens when you have a lot of forms like this. So the best thing to do is to make sure you get the name, or the name that aligns with your MemberPress. So let me take for instance the first touch one time. I did this first touch one time. Okay, so I took this and I copied it into the value, or you can easily, if you have like 5 forms already saved here, you can just insert choices and load them up. So I did this individually since they are just 5 forms. Since I'm picking 5 forms from a whole lot of, I say 5 forms, since I'm picking 5 subscriptions from a whole lot of subscriptions I have on the list, so I did that individually. Then most importantly, you have to create like individual hidden fields, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 5 subscriptions you're trying to make your users pay for. So I created the hidden field. After creating the hidden field, I made sure I labeled it the same way it is on MemberPress membership. You have to do it this way, so if the user is selecting this particular option, this fires, so you have to make sure it aligns well with what you have on your MemberPress together with the price. So I did this for 5 of the different subscriptions I would be wanting my users to purchase. Then I also set a conditional logic for this. I enabled this and made sure if the customer is picking the one time, this fires. I did it for this as well. Picking one time, this is still a one-time payment. I pick this as well for the one-time payment. Then this for the recurring payment, I made sure this too is set to 2 weeks. Picked the first one and I did for the second one as well. So after doing this, lest I forget, you can look for a word like hidden that you can put in front of these labels, the hidden fields label, because sometimes it gets it clashes with the ones you have here, in a way that one should go to GravityPress. Once you go to GravityPress and you are trying to set up each and every one of your feeds, because this is important as well when setting up multiple subscriptions. You have to set them individually because you have to enable conditions for each and every one of them. So when the user selects this, the amount for this fires with this. When the user selects this, the amount for this fires with this. So you would want to make sure your labels are labeled very well, like adding a text, an extra text to it. So because once you come to the gravity field, you'll notice this first time one time hidden has first touch one time hidden has another first touch one time. So if you leave it like that, you might be confused on which to pick. So we'll be picking the hidden field because that's where that's what carries the amount exactly. So that's what carries the amount. So you pick it for this. Then you also select different price field, so it can pick the price you set for this. So you do this for each and every one of the GravityPress feed you select, or you're trying to set the feed for. Then you also enable conditions for this as well, that if you pick one time, the first touch one time fires, you save settings. Then you do this for each and every one of your Gravity feeds GravityPress feed settings. So after doing this, let me just show you quickly the rest of them. So let me show you this. So you see this as well. Enables this, picks for the hidden. Then this would one time flash, save date. So you do this for each and every one of whatever subscription you have on your MemberPress. and making sure all of them, align. So anyone your user clicks, fires with the amounts you already set on your form, and your member press, membership. So so after setting all of this, you would want to set the Stripe. You make sure Stripe is connected. Yeah, it sets one time Stripe feed. You also set recurring Stripe feed for the one time subscriptions and recurring subscriptions as well. Let me just show you quickly how the one time feed, Stripe feed looks like. So one time product and services, forms, then you don't need to set any of this. Just make sure they are connected. You do the same for the recurring Stripe feed, and you also set for the user registration. So after doing this, I believe your form should be set. So let me just quickly go through the forms once again. The hidden feed, the logics are set, then you save your form. So I would want to be trying out the forms now, and let's see how that goes. Let me just try this in a new window. Okay, let me just use this test. Let's see if this is still. Okay, let me add a new page in a new tab. Okay, here's the new page. Tests page. So I'll just add the gravity forms. That's the one I just set up. Test form. I'll publish it. Okay, publish. Then I'll view the page. So let's try to fill this form and try to check the member press subscriptions again. So we'll make sure the member press don't duplicate transactions this time around. So you can select this. You see, once you select this, the price fires. You can add this, and you can also mix it with this. I don't know if you want your form to be able to do this. You can always set it if you only want it to be accessible to one at a time. But let me just select these three to be sure this works. So we chose this, and this. Let's keep that in mind, and let's go to next and fill out the form. Test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3 as 123.com. Okay. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, let's submit the form now and cross check what we've done. Okay, thank you for contacting. So let's check the form quickly. Okay, so this is the form. We check entries. So we can see it in entries. So we can see this in entries. Let's check member press as well. So you can see it carries the same price in MemberPress.